Coach, what a wild few weeks. How have you and the Tar Heel football family tried to handle things over the last couple of days?
To say that the last few weeks has been multitasking would be a little bit of a joke, because things have changed hourly. And Bubba Cunningham and Chancellor Gustowitz have done a tremendous job of trying to do what was best for so many students and faculty and staff, and at the same time keep who we are in spring and with graduation coming up in classes. And so we've had a lot of conference calls and a lot of smart people trying to make sure that everything is done in the best interest of our students and our student athletes. And I feel so lucky and good to be at the University of North Carolina, because all of that's been happening for the good at an unprecedented time of a real crisis. I was around for 9/11, and it was tough. And at 9/11, we all pulled together and we all tried to make sure that everybody was safe and the families were safe. This one, they won't let us get together. We're all separated, so we've got to be really creative and make sure that we take care of each other.
Coach, to that point, how have you tried to stay in contact with your guys, make sure that they're okay, and make sure that they're following the best practices possible?
To show you how things have happened, the other day I had a staff meeting called earlier in the week when things were getting a little dicey, but it was okay. And then Bubba and I talked about it, and we said, okay, let's move the staff meeting to the 5th floor so we can all be 6 feet or more apart. And then within that 24-hour period, we ended up having all of our coaches learn to get on Zoom, and we had our staff meeting on Zoom. So, and that was within a 24-hour period. It really ended up being a positive for us, because our players will start their classes on Zoom, and all of our coaches can communicate with them on Zoom. So it really helped our coaches to learn how to use it. And then I actually had an online meeting with 22 of our leadership committee guys, and talk to them about where we are right now and what we need to do and where we're going. So we're actually sending out video workouts. Some of our guys have access to a gym and weights, some don't. So Coach Hess and his staff have to send out 2 different messages. One, if you got weights, do this. If you're in your house, you can still take care of yourself and your body, but here's what you got to do. With our guys that have rehab issues with torn knee ligaments or something and don't have places to work out, our medical staff's done a tremendous job of trying to help them figure out how they can help things, because we've encouraged everybody to be away from campus. And then our nutritionists, because a lot of the guys can't eat at home like they do here, and they'll have bad habits. So what we've got to do is make sure that they go back and eat right. And then our academic staff has been tremendous. There's an assistant in the academic office that is in charge of each of our positions. So their coaches and our coaches are talking every day about the betterment of the student athlete. So we've got great communication with our student athletes. Communication's the key right now for all of us. We're trying to make sure they understand, don't have fear, let's have facts. And it's not good, but let's make sure that we're dealing with knowns instead of unknowns and rumors, and that's something that I think our staff has done a tremendous job with. And at the same time, they're taking care of their own families. They're basically homeschooling their own children, but they're also involved in recruiting. So our guys have not quit work, let's put it that way. They just went home. They didn't go away from work.
Coach, 2 more things before we let you go. And I know right now football is secondary compared to everything else that is going on, but your players did have some workout time, not talking about spring, but some workout time with Coach Hess in the weight room. How did you guys feel like those few weeks went as far as preparing for the spring, which unfortunately didn't occur?
Yeah, it's interesting. Coach Hess came to me, and we'd always had 2 weeks before spring break and 2 weeks after. And Coach Hess fought me and convinced me to go 8 weeks of off season so we can get stronger. So we were able to get that in. And our guys are strong, and we're in a better place physically than we were at the end of the fall, or sure we were last spring. And now we've got to try not only maintain that, but improve it. We were also able to get to see and get to know the 13 early enrollees. I hate it for them that they didn't get to go to practice, but at least they got here. They've learned how to go to college. And now what we've got to do is step up. Great leaders take crisis and turn them into positives, and the leaders on this football team have got to step up and help the kids that aren't as disciplined, and help the kids that don't study as well. They have no choice. You got to study. You got to have a routine. You got to do your weights. You got to do your conditioning. You got to watch what you eat. And you got to take care of yourself outside of football. And those that do that will be the ones that will have advantages when they get back.
Coach, you may have answered this final question with that. I was going to ask you the next steps, and it seems like right now it really is going to rely heavily on leadership, both from your staff and from your players.
Yeah, we will continue to have staff meetings over social media with Zoom. We'll continue to have conversations with our players and recruits and families. And what we've got to do is find the best ways to continue to make progress toward the degree and toward your strength goals and towards your eating habits and get in great shape. But it's also a time where players can still interact. They've just got to be a little more creative while they do that. Staff members can reconnect with their families and their friends, and we can reach out to high school coaches, and we can reach out to donors. So there's a lot of things we can do right now better than maybe we would have done if we would have been in spring practice. And what we've got to do is you got to do what you do at the time. You can do only what you can do. So we want to do that better than other people are doing it. And that's our task at hand right now. We can't worry about the fall. We got to worry about today and tomorrow and trying to navigate these uncertain waters to the best of our ability. That's what we do as coaches.
He's the Hall of Famer, of course, Mack Brown, head coach of Carolina football. Coach, great to see you. Next time we do this, I promise we'll be a little closer together next time. Coach, great to see you as always.
Thank you, Jones. And if I could say to all you out there, take care of yourself. You take care of your families and take care of your businesses. I know it's tough, man, and we appreciate all your fans. You buy season tickets, you give us money, you give us your time, you give us support. And we're sorry right now that we're not having spring practice and we didn't have our spring sports and all of those things out of our control. But thank you. Thank you. You take care of yourself. And this too will pass, and we all just need to be at a better place when we come up on the other side.